Good morning, guys. This is DJ Wolf, and of course, my program is DJ Wolf Live. I'd like to welcome Castbox at Castbox. Castbox as the newest social media site that I'm sending my podcast to. Welcome aboard. I'm going to talk about the film documentary. I still call it documentary. He calls it a movie, but it's a documentary style movie called The Fatherless America, directed and written by none other than YouTube sensation Tommy Sotomayor. I'm going to discuss it. I just saw it last night, and here's my review and take on it. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. Last night, my son came over, and he had purchased Tommy Sotomayor's debut film, A Fatherless America. The very long awaited film that we've been waiting for quite some time to see. And I think it was about not quite 2 hours. Maybe like an hour and some change, something like that, hour 45, hour 20, something like that. Anyway, it was well over an hour. And so we sat there and watched it. And I gotta say, here's the good things about it. The good things about it, that it was pointing out a lot about what's wrong with today's culture, being that single women can be the mother and father. That's already a problem, okay? Because many of these kids, particularly boys, need the father in their lives. No, it should be a choice of whether they have father lives. They need the father in their life. They need that. You know, the one that made them should be the one that mentored them, as far as I'm concerned. Particularly the ones that, you know, that have some kind of common sense. But kids do need their fathers. You know, if you go out there and put it out there, then you need to be responsible. But on the other hand, you need women who will allow those men to be the fathers they need to be. Stop blocking everything. You know, but it's a lot of things that covered it. Basically, he was trying to make a point about why fathers are important, and what the after effects is with a kid growing up without a father. And there were two examples of it. One was this young man who talked about on Father's Day, his much younger brother, brought a card to him, a Father's Day card to him. And he got him a little emotional about it. Almost got emotional about it because it was really touching. Because he said he didn't know any other person that was a father like him. Because the older brother had to step in and take care of him. You know. Then there was the young girl who was talking about how her life would have dramatically turned around had her father been in her life. And how she saw where he has another much younger child now, who he's raising and being there for. And she really was messed up, you know, in tears about it. But those were some of the good things about the movie itself that pointed out. Plus, Tommy brought some statistics out. But I do question the first statistics that they put out. But I'm not going to go into detail about that. But the majority of the statistics he did have validation for, where the statistics came from. There were maybe one or two issues I had with the shot scenes, but everything else it was turned out pretty well as far as the filming, you know. But you gotta understand, this is a documentary style film. Okay, this is not supposed to be a polished motion picture scripted motion picture, which this was not. Okay, and I don't know what some of y'all are looking for his movie. Y'all looking for it's totally polished, but to me there were maybe a couple of things I could have questioned about that, but otherwise I thought it was a pretty well done film for his first film out. To be honest, I'm being very serious about it. You know, the soundtrack was pretty decent. You know, the scenes were cut. I mean, for the most part, pretty well for a documentary. I've seen a lot of documentaries in my 50 plus years, so I know you have documentaries that are like that. Number of them like that. Some of the most well known are like that. So don't give me that crap about it just look polished. This table could wear news camera angle wouldn't right. I the only one question about was the camera angle where he had really the one where he had with the daughter. I mean with the young woman with her child. That was the only one. And even with that, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but you got the sound, you got the message, and that's all the fuck that matters. You know, some of y'all are just so petty as fucking ain't funny. And you don't really know what you're talking about anyway when it comes to watching the documentary. Because most documentaries are made guerrilla-style film in any damn way. You know? Real talk. And this is from somebody who did his own. I did one many years ago, before time even talked about Fatherless America. Right? Called Portrait of a Family. I've never released it, but I want to reshoot mine. Okay? I do have one. I did in 1994. That's a fact. When I first started doing video production. All right? And I thought about doing this and putting this online before YouTube was even talked about. In the 90s. Before even on my first computer. Okay? So, y'all people don't know what y'all talking about here. One's talking about, hey, you tell me that movie, all kind of cut. That's usually how documentaries are made. Okay? You're going to have those little flaws in documentaries. That's why you're documentaries. Documentaries are independently filmed. Okay? That's what many of them are. Not all of them are backed by major productions. This is something that Tommy did. Okay? So you understand. He didn't have a whole lot of backing on this in terms of the way it was filmed and all that. But I think he did a hell of a job. I'll be honest with you. Now, could he have went a little bit deeper with certain people he interviewed and got some, a couple of other experts involved with this in terms of the documentary? Yeah, he could have. You know, there were some parts of the documentary was left out anyway. The one with Russell Simmons was left out, and you didn't see him about a minute or two of Professor Griff. And I know I remember he mentioned that he did the extended interview with Professor Griff as well. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, I had ordered a copy from Amazon, and I was going to talk about it myself, but my son was gracious enough that he had a copy on Venmo where you can actually purchase it. It's online right now, and it's online at his Father America website, and I think it's on his main website. So, but Amazon, I don't know if something happened with them trying to get it released. It was supposed to be out Friday, and I just canceled my order just a minute ago. So the only thing you got to do is just cancel your order if you order through Amazon. So, but that, along with maybe one scene that it was just the camera part. It wasn't the interview. The whole interview was on it. It was caught. The whole interview was shot on there, and you got the message across. But that was it in the Amazon thing. That was it. The only two issues I had was that. Otherwise, it was a very good film. It was a film that needed to be talked about. It was a film that needed to be put out there. It was a film that needed to be made. Okay? Now, the guys like Tariq and whose films are very polished. I'll give him that. But he has a big production behind it. Okay? Now, TBA has a slightly similar production behind his as well, but there's a little bit more bigger budget than Tommy's, from what I'm saying, Although you would think that it would be a little bit more content in there, and he could have put some extra stuff behind it. Now I'll say that he could have, showed some schematic. I mean, not schematic. They talk about charts and stuff like that, and point out some other things in addition to what he talked about. But it is what it is. I mean, for his first time out, it was a decent movie. It really was. Could I question some other things like all the years he was collecting donations for the movie, and it's like, okay, so, well, I'm not gonna get into all that. So I didn't donate to him, so I as far as that goes, I ain't gonna complain about it. But the movie itself, the content, the message, that's what mattered. That's what counted. He finally got it out after a number of years of, talking about it. I saw it. I liked it. It's an important message. And maybe it will inspire others to put this kind of film out. That's a good thing, whether you like Tommy or not. This is DJ Wolf. That's my review on the movie. And I'll be honest, for a first time out, I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 mics. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.